Hello friends, welcome back to ClipFlix for another movie recap video. This is our 8th recap video. Today we are going to talk about science fiction, thriller, fantasy movie, titled Project Almanac from 2015. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. High school senior student David Raskin is doing an experiment with his friends Adam La and Quinn Goldberg while David's sister Christina recorded. The recorded video is for a scholarship to MIT University. David shows off a drone he made that he can control with his fingers. The gang sets the drone fly outside when someone calls David's phone, mixing the signal on Quinn's laptop to connect with the craft. The craft hits the ground and crashes. A few weeks later, David receives a letter from MIT University. He gathers with Christina and their mother Kathy, along with Adam and Quinn, to open it. David enters MIT, but only receives $5,000 instead of the $45,000 offered. He is disappointed. At school, David has a crush on a girl named Jessie Pierce. Quinn flunks a chemistry test in front of his whole class. Christina is bullied by the school's head bitch Sarah Nathan. Back home, David and Christina discover that Kathy is trying to sell the house. Later, David rummages in the attic. Christina goes upstairs and they find a video of David's 7th birthday party. It was the last day they saw their father Ben before he died in a car accident. The two watch the video and David notices something odd that he, at his current age, is physically visible in the video. Show the tape to two friends, who are both surprised. David is obsessed with the video and notes facts such as he has a blue stain on his shirt and is holding the keys with a ballerina-shaped keychain. He looks in his bag and notices that he is actually holding Jessie's bag. He walks over to hand it back to her and awkwardly tries to talk to her. He returns the bag and she congratulates him on being selected to MIT University. The group of friends go to David's basement and they discover a secret hatch in the floor that is evidence for a time machine. The kids are excited and start collecting the materials they need to fix it. After a few failures, they steal the school's hydrogen cylinders to recharge the batteries. They manage to activate something that levitates objects in the basement, but the batteries keep shorting out. One evening there is a party nearby. Jessie brings her car and parks it in David's garden. The gang connect the cables to her car's battery to test the machine again. They try to send the little red car through time. They activate the machine, just as Jessie enters when she sees what they are doing to her car. The room starts to shake and objects begin to float, and all power to the street is cut off. When the lights come back on, the gang notices that the toy car has traveled through time and somehow confused with the wall. They look at the GoPro they attached to the car and see it was already there and recorded them while they were setting up the car. Later, Jessie joins the group as they show her David's birthday video and prove to her what they can do. They get together that night in the neighborhood and attempt to go back to one night ago. They activate the machine and jump through time. The gang is left deafened for a few seconds. They then walk to Quinn's home where Quinn was sleeping the previous night. Quinn draws a smile face on his own neck. Past Quinn then rolls over and wakes up and sees his future self. This causes a glitch in time, and the two of them start to disappear. The group of friends runs out of there and then excitedly jump for the fact that they successfully time travel. When they get back to the area, they find a dog. As they drive through the streets, they notice a bunch of missing dog flyers that weren't there earlier. They return the dog to owner. The gang starts to think about the possibilities of their new ability and choose to use it for personal business as long as they jump together all the time. The gang uses Quinn to take their chemistry test until he finally passes. Christina uses it to catch Sarah moments after she caused Christina to spill the drink. Only Christina from the future shows up and deliberately pours Sarah a drink, insulting her and saying, "I'm everywhere, bitch." Adam has the gang time jump, then they can get lottery 1. However, he only got 5 of the 6 numbers correct, and after taxes, they only made $1.8 million. Quinn uses the money to buy a beautiful racing car and drive a line of food trucks to school. At home, Kathy ends up finding a new job, which makes David and Christina happy. During the lesson, David drags the gang out of the classroom and into the field. They jump to 3 months earlier for the Lollapalooza. They see their favorite bands play and even get VIP passes to go backstage and be with the band. The gang has the time of their lives. They cling to water slides and party all day long. Before the day is over, David goes to Jessie as she checks the wall that says "Before the world ends," with a number of things people would do. Jessie drops some huge hints for David, like going for the statement that says, "Before the world ends, I want to fall in love." David misses the chance to make a move on Jessie, and they later return to the present, where only 41 seconds have passed. David is disappointed with his failure, after he decides to jumps back alone to Lollapalooza and takes his move on Jessie. He kisses her, after returns to the present. He's in his room and tries calling Jessie, only to see her phone is on his desk. She comes in from the bathroom wearing only a towel. David asks her if they had sex. She declares yes. The two become lovers, but when they get to school, David notices strange things. The school's basketball captain Justin has broken his leg. Sarah walks by David crying. There's a banner hung up that reads Titans basketball, better luck next year. After school, David learns from Adam and Quinn that there was a plane crash that killed 77 passengers, including Sarah's dad, who was the pilot. The boys assume that their time traveling is responsible for this, and the basketball team lost the championship. The gang reunites at night when David tells Adam that he time traveled alone. Despite Adam telling him not to do it again, David travels alone the night of the party. After he and the others cut the power when they jumped into Christina's toy car, David runs down the street and pushes Justin out of a car to save him from breaking his leg. The others salute him as a hero. David returns to the present and finds that not only has the team won the championship, but the plane has landed safely. However, Adam admits to the hospital following an accident after the basketball game. David runs home and struggles to figure out how to keep Adam from getting hurt. Prepare the machine when Jesse arrives in the basement. They both traveled back in time and David is forced to explain to her that he jumped on his own to go back and do his move on her. Jesse is hurt and admits that she has loved David since she first met him and would use the machine to come back to meet him sooner. Then, Jesse's past self comes and once they see each other, she completely vanishes suddenly, leaving behind only her car keys, which David grabs. Seeing no other way out, David decides he must return to his 7th birthday to stop the machine from existing. Quinn goes David's home after Jesse goes missing. David explains the whole situation to him and apologizes for his mistake. The police then show up at David's home, suspecting him of being involved in Jesse's disappearance. David runs away from home and runs to school where he retrieves another bottle of hydrogen. He is able to power up the machine just as the cops burst in, moments before he makes the jump. David goes back 10 years and returns home. He sees himself in the mirror, where the video first took him. He follows his father into the basement and they come face to face. Ben recognizes his son and realizes that he operated the machine. David tells him that there are no second chances and that they have to stop the machine. The two hug and Ben leaves. David collects all the components of the time machine and burns them. His body shakes repeatedly until he disappears. David returned to present, looking in the attic where Christina finds him. They find their dad's video camera, which has footage of what they were doing and saying mere minutes ago. The gang is at school when David sees he has Jesse's bag. He walks over to give it to her more confidently and repeats a statement Jesse made to him the first time they spoke. When she asks him how he knew what he was going to say, David walks up and says, "This is going to sound crazy, but I think we're about to change the world." That is the end of the story. If you like our creations, don't forget to subscribe our channel and leave a comment that says I subscribe to your channel. Thanks for watching.